Alright, so what we want to do here is we want to set our simulated keys for our mouse inputs here. So we're going to set the on key down, would do something like this. So we want to take this event.which, we want to add the offset for the key, which is going to be left mouse button. So that should do that. That'll find our appropriate key, and on mouse up, so key was pressed and all this stuff, it's going to be event.which plus left mouse button. Okay, so supposedly that's all we have to do to get our JavaScript to support this. But we actually need our system util crap to understand the key. So we'll do that. Alright, so key to char. So we're going to want 3 of these. It's going to be E keys, left, right, middle. Oops. And the system key codes are going to be the VKs. Alright, so that should map those, and then we need to map the reverse. Alright, well, let's compile that up and see if we fucked it all up. See what else we got on the plate after I get this done. I'll probably fix a few small things. I'll probably fix the scroll bars on chat and on stats. Though I'm not going to spend too much time on any of that chat stuff. Mainly because probably we'll be redoing that inside of UMG or whatever solution is better for the in-game UI, because that in-game chat's going to be probably non-WebKit, because we're going to disable the entire WebKit window unless you hit the tab key or open up the pause menu, because performance of that thing is a pile of crap. Though that might not be the case anymore in some stuff, because we actually fixed the other performance problems. Except for the foliage shadows, which hopefully... Fairly certain that UMG is going to be the thing, even though it'll be a bit of a... Yeah, that's kind of what I expect. Slate and UMG and all that is... I think we're just going to have to learn to live with it. Which is just going to be a thing. I thought the web stuff was going to be a little bit more performant than it has turned out to be, but you can't know that until you actually try it, because the only performance problems we actually ran into were when we were doing full screen fades on like large ass, monitors. And you might have thought I would have tested that performance out, and we did, but because the other thing we could do is we could always change the WebKit window so that we could change it to a different resolution other than the native screen resolution. It'll make things fuzzier, but it would at least be a good shim to be like, well, your software, your CPU isn't powerful enough to render this whole thing, so we can render it and then scale it up. Alright, well, let's test if these things work. No, you do not want to do a second camera, and you'd have to do a scene capture. G input is not defined. Alright, so something's fucked here. Well, let's just boot up this stuff inside of... Am I running? Yeah, okay. Just boot it. Yeah, to do that, you'd have to do a scene capture. I was thinking probably what would be the deal... Alright, unexpected token, gameplay JS 55. It's not going to be the first error. Unexpected token... 649. Yeah, here we go. That's wrong. Well, I figured probably what we'd be able to do is render the thing, but there'd be like some sort of sort order that we could render them in a specific order to kind of enforce the depth on stuff. Kind of like, they'll just render on top of each other based on the order of the actor's instantiation or something else. I think there's some sort order stuff that we could look into for that. So if we had to do with actors, I'm pretty sure we could get some together for that. Alright, let's see. Let's map punch to left to right mouse. That's right mouse. And let's map kick to right mouse. Isn't even coming in. We got middle mouse, we got right mouse, but we don't have... Alright, so left click is 1, right click doesn't happen, and middle click is 2. So the question is, why is mouse down not firing for... Alright, so we got on mouse down, G input, on mouse down. Document, mouse down, alright. CF, is CF button supported? Right mouse, middle mouse, left mouse. Disable right click is true, button equals right mouse button. Alright, let's see what we got here. Disable right click is true. Now there's an M underscore here with disable right click. Let's see why. Yeah, I don't think an off-screen camera is a good solution for all of it. Mainly because Unreal really doesn't like off-screen cameras. It's not like Unity. Unity does a much better job with multiple cameras. Unreal is like, it really fights you for that. But I mean, what issues were you having with depth? Like, you just couldn't control the depth whatsoever, and just like it was undefined? Which thing rendered on top of each other, or was there at least some structure to it where if an actor was instantiated first, it was rendered so it would always go behind or something, so the freshest actor would always render on top? Because if that's the case, then like this is only the in-game UI stuff, right? We're not looking at anything that needs to be super amazing. Like, we don't need like a whole bunch of render layers and a whole bunch of rich stuff, because we're not going to do that in this. This is just going to be bare bones. Alright, so I need to go to the UI. And why did I disable the right click? Like, let's just turn off disabling right click, because I don't want a context menu to pop up with this thing, but I do want to be able to pass the right click message into the window itself. But yeah, my first bet would be try the UMG stuff before you try doing actors, because if UMG works, that's kind of what Unreal's set up to do, so it'll probably be easier to do it with that, to be honest. Yeah, we don't want controls, we don't want... There must have been some damn reason I disabled right-clicking. You end up changing the relative depth? I don't know where the relative depth is. I don't know what that does. Is it like the world offset or something else that you're talking about? Or is there some other depth crap that I'm unaware of? Yeah, if we're using actors, we're gonna get the post-process stuff on there too, like the night level fucks with the ball indicator. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the previous things. For the example of the indicator, once we added the extra arrow texture inside, change the depth to force that arrow to render on top of the camera that caused it to look. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably that we have to use UMG, just because in the night level, the bloom actually affects that ball pointer and turns into this giant psychedelic monstrosity. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, we are getting that right click now. Is there something that was screwing stuff up maybe inside of... Yeah, here it was. We don't want the right click inside of some windows, because that'll do this horrible shit like this. Well, I mean, is it the worst thing ever? I mean, it just shows up in the wrong place. It's not like... Oh, why don't we just put it in there for like the Dashkin UI? Just be like construct. Let's see. S Dashkin web window. Can we just go from the top, please? Alright, so create web window. We're going to have a bool extra here for enable right click. Alright, so we need to go to our UI. Yeah, it looks cool with the bloom and everything. God, I hate Slate. With all these like stupid ass Slate argument macro garbage with really stupid, like, what is this fucking syntax? It's like they're trying to mimic some like DOM tree sort of shit inside of C++ code, and it's like, don't do that. Like, just use normal C++ like a sane person. Do I not get a constructor for this? Yeah, we only get construct. God, I really don't like it when that happens. It's like, we're not in some managed language. Without a constructor, I really don't like relying on Unreal's built-in UObject stuff initializing my variables for me. That's just so dirty. Alright, well, we'll see. Looks like we still have to worry about the mapping for these buttons, where they're coming in a little bit differently than I expected the order to be. So it's like 1, 2, 3 as opposed to 0, 1, 2, so I guess it's just subtract 1 or whatever. One, two, 1, 1, 1, 1, dot, 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 dot. Alright, well, I'm not getting my right clicks in here. Alright, create web window. Enable right click is true. Okay, so construct. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! All right, enable right click equals args dot underscore enable right. Yeah, it's just what the fuck, Slate. I guess I should set this to creative instead of actually the game. Yeah, I definitely remember back in Molten when we were using Unreal 4 before it was released. Alright, sets 1, 3, and 2. There's no 0? I remember back then, this was before Unreal had actually finished its contract negotiations with Scaleform, which didn't pan out. I guess we need to subtract 1 from this, just because that's what it is. That's 3, that's 2. Alright, so the order of these things is actually like this. So I need to go change all the C++. But yeah, before the Scaleform stuff fell through, and it was pretty funny because they're there's a meeting room in Epic HQ with like the Molten engineers and the Unreal engineers, and then like the Slate engineer. And I wasn't there for this, but everybody came out of the meeting like, man, that Slate guy has got a chip on his shoulder. He's obviously like super defensive about everything, and just angry and just bashing Scaleform, being like, Flash sucks, it's stupid, I hate everything. You use Slate. And they ask him a question about like Slate supporting something, and be real angry response. Just like, well, you know, it's a supported option. That's what we're gonna have to use. Oh, nice. All right. X7. Mail delivery subsystem. Yeah. I'll put that in there. So it's 37. Awesome. Okay, so I was in the middle of forgetting everything, which is a bad place to be. Alright, so we got that sorted. Is there anything else we need for that? Is there... Yeah, system utils is based off of this. You think I would use the fucking V-key key codes here instead of raw numbers. But that would be silly. You're back with fish? Well, I'm sorry, I do not have any fish. So, you'll have to eat fish by yourself. You'll survive. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, I'm thinking I might actually get back into streaming some games as well. That would be probably a good idea. Just because, you know, that user graph, if we get people and I actually get back on the horse with streaming stuff, who knows? You know, every little bit helps with marketing. And yeah, that's probably what I would do. Like, I need to finish up the Civ 6 game I'm on right now and all that. But I wouldn't want to, like, start... I wouldn't want to start streaming, like, in the middle of, like, a Civ session. Just be like, yeah, here's this thing that I've been working on forever, and it's all bullshit. Speedruns or no-hit runs? How about just beat the damn thing to start with? Because that's kind of the cool thing. If we get those, like the session-based persistence, I mean the session-based progression stuff in there for our game, we'll be able to do speed runs of our game. It'll be like, all right, you know, finish the ability web and get all your unlocks. You know, do that as fast as possible. You know, get in as many matches and get like double jump and all this other crap. And if we have enough levels and all that stuff, we might even structure it so that we've got like the matchmaking in there for everything. And we might even matchmake with bots and Who knows? Be some interesting shit we can do with that. Alright, so we're going to map up, down, left, right. Actually, let's just set the defaults. Alright, so we want up, down, left, right. Then we're going to want, like, so that's movement, and then, like, left shift is pop up. We got spacebar mapped, and then we want, like, punch is left click, kick is middle mouse, and jump is right click? Oh no, right click isn't working. Like, we're getting it. Mouse down for 3. Shit. Alright, so we need jump to be right mouse. But right mouse isn't getting captured, so so it's gonna be this key isn't valid thing. I think that's the only thing we need to do. Right mouse, awesome. Okay, so that works. I need to go remove that debugging stuff I just put in for is valid. Alright, take that out. Okay, so right mouse is jump, punch is left, pop up is left shift, so punch, kick, jump. Okay. I have no idea how this is gonna play. But we'll see. If kind of a WASD spaceboard left shift sort of control scheme. Because a lot of people don't like arrow keys. Alright, so that's punch, this jump, that's pop up. You know, I really want that different. I think jump should be left shift and pop up should be right mouse. Alright, so this is jump, move around. Alright, we got dash. Oh man, Adam just subscribed. Work harder. That's how it is. Oh my god, this is fucking weird. These controls are. Uh, I need always dash on. I need always dash on. I can't be hitting the fucking space bar with this crap. Yeah, it's like spacebar should be fucking jump in this thing. Alright, so dash should be left shift and jump is spacebar? Maybe. I don't think I'd ever get used to this. Though it kind of works. The problem is I need another finger on my left hand to do this right. Let's just reload that UI. Alright. Alright, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Alright, so to down. That's yeah, that's a little bit odd. Yeah, my training is just all fucked up for this, so. Alright, well it works. Alright, we'll call it that it works. But I don't want to change the defaults. Oh, we'll mark it in there. Cool. Yeah, I got it so like right mouse just pop up. That doesn't feel bad. I'm not sure where jump should go. Like jump and dash. It's like if you're on this kind of controls, you'd have to have always dash on, and because you really don't want to be moving that. Like you can use your little finger to hit left shift or control or something, but it just kind of cramps you after a while. It's okay to hold spacebar, but having to like take your anything off of those movement keys is just not going to work. W for pop-up? Are you saying there's absolutely no reason to use the up key? In which case, why not just have that be jump? So like the up key is just like 2. Down, left, right, and then jump is that, and dash is space. Let's try that. All right, I think this feels better. Yeah, that's actually easier to do. It's actually easier to nail that spike if you're using the mouse. That's interesting. I would not have thought that. All right, that works. That works. Just have an up like W be jump. Totally works. All right. Well, I think what we'll probably do with that is we'll ask for community feedback next time we release it, and probably change the default control scheme to something else. Or we can change the default control scheme and release it as that, and just tell people to try it, and then we can revert that later. Because I think that the WASD keys and all that, I think feedback was pretty clear that they want those for movement, not arrow keys like a jump. So let me just go ahead and do that. Let me just set the defaults to that, and where the fuck are the defaults anyway? It's in game data, I think. Yeah, here it is. You'll switch W to pop-up. Throwing pop-up on right mouse actually is pretty intuitive to me. So why don't you try both? Alright, so movement up is going to be V key 2. Movement down, V key S, V key A, V key D. Jump is V key W, dash is V key space, punch is, what did I call these things? V key left, middle, and then right. Stomp is just S again, so that's going to be V key left mouse. Celebrate is E, which, yeah, works. Crouch toggle Q, push to chat T. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright. Let's make sure that works. Well, you've got all your attacks mapped over there with this. Well, yeah, I guess you don't have the... Yeah, if if jump is W, right, then all your attacks are all on your mouse. None of your movement, so your pop-up, your everything is all on the mouse. Which probably has more to do with like your analytical brain taking over the attacks and doing timing and crap like that, and your more creative side can handle the motion. I don't know. Dash will probably be shift. Well, we can see how you think about that. If you're saying that should be jump and then shift is dash, I just get real cramped up hitting that shift all the time. What we should probably do is do like a poll on the forums next update, and have like 3 different control schemes or whatever, and just have people vote on which ones they like best or something. Yeah. Just make sure these defaults get set properly here. So set the defaults. Yes. Jump is W. 2 ASD. Dash is space. Left kick. Alright, let's just make sure all the controls work. Also, how's your day going, Adam? I'm just, what, 4 hours into streaming just about? Still got it. I'm not as good as I am with the other controls, that's for sure, but I'm not as bad as I thought I would be. So that's definitely improvement for defaults. That feels a lot better, and my hand is also feeling better, I think. My snowed in? Nah, it's not. It's all melting at the moment. So nothing too crazy going on. Alright, I want to fix the scroll bars on stats is the next thing. I've only got a few things. I'm probably going to end the stream here in another like half hour or something. So I won't be on for 2. The fire's melted at all? No, there's no fires up over where I am. And I think that's all done in California. Yeah, there's nothing left to burn down there anymore. Alright, that's in screens. In-game screen. Alright, so in-game stats header, then we got the stat stuff. We'll probably just get rid of this shit. Alright, stats container. In-game left container, right container. Those are stacked on top of each other. And then we got these lines. So we have a header. And then this guy is, we have like right stats container. And then we're just like slapping divs on here because this is before we started cloning stuff. What happened to Gammon? Well, I'll probably, like, I need to finish up that Civ game. So I probably won't start streaming. Like, I think I'll do that. I'll start doing Dark Souls. I'll start with 1 and go through all that, and then 2 and 3. It's been a while since I played 2 and 3. I had a lot of fun when Dark Souls 2 came out. It was the first Souls game I played, and I definitely had a lot of fun doing that. Remember, the first thing I did is I went the wrong way at the start. Like, instead of going to like the actual new area, I went straight to like the Heidi Knights and all that, and just like died a hell of a lot to them. I was like, well, this seems like it makes sense, you know, because they just like one-shot your character to start with. So what we're going to do here is we have a div. It is the container itself, I believe, that its CSS is not. Yeah, it's got overflow auto on it. nameplate, stats, stat entry, everything. User stats container, name. So we need to have the container class, which is the stats container. Its width needs to be like a calc of 100% minus 17 pixels, I believe. I think that's all we have to do for this. Gotta learn to dodge. Yeah, that was the thing, is I always played as a two-handed greatsword build. You know, I thought sword and board is fucking boring. You know, like, bring it on. Like, sitting there getting, tanking hits and, like, stupid shit like that. No, that's not for me. So, yeah, I got real good at dodging that crap. That was one of the things, like, a lot of people in Dark Souls 2 had, like, a hell of a lot of trouble against the Ancient Dragon or whatever that basically one-shots you with fire if you don't have, like, 100% fire resist build. And I didn't have any trouble with that guy pretty much at all, because I was so used to dodging that, like, running through and, like, dodging through all the fire and having it be like, well, if you miss it, you're just fucked. I was like, well, yeah, I can do that perfectly 10 times in a row. That wasn't really a huge issue. Because by then it was like, yeah, dodging, I have to do this. Otherwise I'm fucked anyway. Alright, so we're going to go in-game, spawn a bunch of bots, hit tab, make sure it works. Alright, so the thing that's screwed up is not the inner part. It looks like it's the headers as well need to be fixed. Is that what's going on? Yeah, the OG spun over and screwed it up. So it's in-game stats header. Width is, yeah, 100%. We'll do calc, 100% minus 17 pixels. No, it's still fucked. Let's see if this works. So what's... Alright, that looks like it's just fucking broken. Some of this calc CSS stuff is kind of screwy. It doesn't actually work. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to do what it does. So OG is still getting shoved over. So that's going to be because the position of the own goal stuff is too far over. So that's this header stat. Width is 7 vmin. Let's decrease that to 7 vmin. Let's decrease it to 6. Did I not do anything? Let's just make it ridiculously small. Okay, yeah, that's working. Okay, so these things are overflowing. We just need to change the stat lines. Stat left, stat right. What did I change? 5. Let's try it.